Meadowland. Land of meadows. I still don't know what the title means. I mean, as far as I remember, it didn't have anything to do with the movie, but yeah. I wanted to watch this because of Olivia Wilde, because I like her a lot, but I didn't not like the movie. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it actually quite a bit, and I was invested in it, but the more I think about it, the more negative things I have to say about it, and that's disappointing. I was expecting a bit more from it. It could have been a lot shorter than it was. There were a lot of, I want to say useless scenes, but yeah, scenes that could have been cut easily. And it probably wouldn't have saved that much time from the movie, but it would have made it a bit more dynamic. And it's a very simple story in the sense that it's a couple, Olivia Wilde and Luke Wilson. Fantastic acting by everyone, by the way. The acting was really, really good. And I think it saved the movie. They're a normal couple, they have a son, and they go into a gas station, and their son disappears. So now, a year later, they're trying to cope with it, and they have no idea where their kid went. So it was interesting to see the contrast between the way they deal with it. She is in denial completely. She thinks that her son is somewhere happy and he's with another family, and she's just in denial. While he is actually a cop, which makes everything so much worse, I think. And he goes to support groups and meetings and things like that, and he tries to befriend other people that have gone through the same thing, have lost a child or a family member, and he tries to deal with it in a realistic way, while she is completely in denial. But the disappointing thing for me was the fact that we didn't actually get to see them really talk about it. I guess they didn't want to, but he sort of, towards the end of the movie, started to talk about more of his memories of his son, but he didn't really talk about how he felt. Is he angry? Is he depressed? Is he anything? We didn't really get to see what he was feeling, and she was completely in denial and completely numb. And it's even worse because she's a teacher. She spends all her days with a bunch of kids, knowing that she lost her kid. So that I thought was really interesting. But the thing that pissed me off was the ending, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but as it was approaching the ending, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if this happened? That would be ridiculous, right? Like, that could never happen. I'm gonna be pissed if that happens. And then that thing happened that I thought would be ridiculous. I was not amused by the ending. I didn't like it at all. And to me, it was never about them, finding out what happened to their son. Was he killed? Is he alive somewhere? Will he come back? To me, I wanted to know more about what they felt. And this movie felt really, really empty to me. Like, there wasn't a lot there. And maybe that was the point. Maybe you're supposed to feel as empty as they feel when you watch it. If that's the case, then they succeeded, but it's not the most enjoyable experience, which I guess this isn't supposed to be like a fun movie or anything. It definitely succeeded in making me feel uncomfortable and awkward a lot of times, especially when his brother shows up, and his brother is one of those people that I hate in movies. He just keeps talking and talking and talking about this philosophical bullshit. Is a table really a table, and how do we know, and blah blah blah. And I felt what they felt, like, shut up. That was a really good scene when they're in the kitchen and she's making dinner and he just keeps talking, and you're just like, you feel like you're suffocating, like, go away. I thought that was a really good thing, but I was hoping that we would get to see something more like what she kept going down this path where she was taking a lot of pills at the beginning and then she decided not to, but she didn't get better. I thought, okay, maybe we're gonna get to see her come to terms with what happened after she takes the pill, after she stops taking the pills, but she just got even more and more delusional. She started losing her mind, and it was not what I expected. I was hoping I would get to see, even if it is a super depressing thing, I was hoping I would get to see them feel something. Even if they're depressed, even if they're hurting, and even if it's really, really painful, I was hoping we would get to see them deal with it. And she was completely in denial, and she did not want to cooperate. The police were trying to find him, and she was just like, you know, they were showing them pictures and things like that, and she was like, that's not him. I don't even want to look at the pictures. She was not cooperating in any way, and she left her husband there to identify possibly their son, and it was really hard on him, and it was hard on her, and it reminded me a bit of that movie that was really bad with Nicole Kidman, Strangerland or something like that. It was, that was not a good movie, and it reminded me of that in terms of their relationship, almost. And I mean, it's a similar plot where the kids disappear, and in this one, their boy was just taken from a gas station. They weren't bad parents. They didn't leave their child out there. And the worst part is they don't even know what happened. It's one thing to lose someone in your family, but not even know what happened. That was really, really... It was scary. It was like a scary opening to the movie because it happened in like the first 5 minutes. So, yeah, I was a bit disappointed in the sense that I don't think there was a lot there. She kept going places. There were a lot of shots of her in Central Park or at the subway. She was just walking the streets. And at the beginning, I kept thinking maybe she's doing something she's not supposed to. Maybe she is trying to look for her son without her husband knowing for some reason. I have no idea. I thought maybe she was doing something, but it never really got anywhere. And then towards the end, she starts doing things that are just like, why are you doing this? There's no logic behind it. I understand that she's hurting, I understand that she's in denial, but I feel like that was just too much. All the events leading towards the end, like the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it was just like chaos for no reason. It's the same thing that happened in Strangerland. Now that I think about it, yeah, there's a lot of similar things about it. This movie was way better, but it was still a lot of unnecessary things. I just wanted a regular movie about a grieving family, and they just start throwing things at the end to make it more dramatic and more chaotic, and you don't need that. You just need to portray the emotions, and they were really good. All the actors were fantastic at portraying the emotions, but there weren't a lot of emotions there. They were just sort of... So yeah, I was quite disappointed. There were some good things about it, but mostly I was disappointed. It was not a terrible movie. I was just... Maybe I was just expecting something else, and that's why I was disappointed. But the trailer... Don't even believe the trailer for a second. That the trailer and what it shows is nothing like the movie. Like, nothing. I was expecting something dramatic and mysterious and sort of a thriller, and maybe not like an action, but you know, I was expecting a lot of development and secrets and mysteries, and I was expecting a lot more. And that trailer is so misleading because it's not that at all. It's a very generic story about a family that loses a child, and that's it. And I was expecting more development in the emotional side of the characters, but whatever, I guess they weren't going for that. But definitely not a terrible movie, but I just kept listing out the bad things. I guess the good things, like I said, the acting saved it for me. I have to say, Olivia Wilde was just fantastic, and everybody else. And I mean, there's a couple cameos from like Juno Temple and things like that. I think Kid Cudi was in it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Juno Temple's boyfriend was Kid Cudi. They showed him like really briefly. I was like, was that him? Because he was in that show that did not last a long time, but really liked it. How to Make It in America. I liked that show, and that did not last. But yeah, the acting definitely saves it. If you're a fan of any of the actors that are in this movie, then good, because everybody was fantastic. But I was expecting something more. I was expecting her to, there was a kid with Asperger's syndrome in her school. I was expecting her to befriend him. His family, he was in a foster family. They were not treating him right. I was expecting her to maybe talk to her husband and get him to a safer home, or maybe even take him home, because it was clear that she was trying to sort of replace her own son with this kid, who was really nice, by the way. And it just doesn't go anywhere. So they had a few missed opportunities there with the plot, like his brother being at the house. I thought maybe they would befriend each other. Not for a couple seconds there, I thought affair, but not affair, just a friendship. He wanted to provide emotional support, and she just kept pushing him away, because I guess he's a bit of a mess. But he was there, and he was trying to help, and she did not take anyone's help. So I think there were some missed opportunities with the plot, and it just didn't really go anywhere for me. To me, it was never about the mystery of where the kid is. To me, that was always in the background. I always figured the kid is just gone, and let's leave it at that. I don't want to know anything about that, and I wanted to focus on the family, and I wanted more from them. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed. And do not trust the trailer. Like I said, the trailer is completely misleading. No, I mean, at one point they were like in the trailer, "You think I'm gonna infect you?" And I was like, is this like a zombie thing? Like, what the fuck are they trying to do with this trailer? This is not correct at all. So yeah, like I said, if you like the actors, good. The acting's fantastic. But other than that, this is just a little bit of a better version than Strangerland. Meadowland, Strangerland. I see the parallels there. The title, I have no idea why it's called that, like I said, but whatever.
Jesse!
How you doing today?
How are you doing?
Stop being angry.
I'm not.
You are.
I want to see this guy right now. Right now. Think I'm gonna get it on you? Think I'm gonna infect you?
I know who you are. I know, because I've seen you.
This has nothing to do with us.
She needs help.
I think she's gonna figure it out herself.
Yeah?
You don't know when it's gonna be light again.
Don't leave me!
It might just keep getting darker.
I can feel it.
Drown out all the noise and the static and just look at what's actually there.